God dag alle sammen, og hjertelig velkommen til webinar. Vi har en spennende løsning som vi ønsker å presentere for dere, som vi også sikkert noen av dere har hørt om fra Geomatikk forum, der vi sa litt om KeyLight, som er en effektiv løsning for drift og vedlikehold av gatelys og trafiklysnett. Jeg kommer til å ha en presentasjon av selve løsningen innledningsvis. Så kommer en av ekspertene fra Kipro, som heter Heikki Majoinen, til å demonstrere løsningen. Så han vil vise dere hvordan dette her fungerer i praksis, og så tar vi da og setter av tid til spørsmål og avklaringer på slutten. KeyLight er jo da en løsning som er spesialsydd for dette med gatelys og trafikklysnett. Og det er utviklet av et selskap som heter Kipro. Det er nå et selskap i Geomatikk-gruppen, på lik linje med Geomatikk AS. Og de har lavet GIS-systemer i mange, mange år for ulike formål, både for gatelys, for strøm, for vann, for kommunikasjon, og har solid ekspertise innenfor alle disse områdene. De er snaue 100 personer som jobber med å utvikle disse løsningene. De har mer enn 300 kunder og over 10 000 brukere, og håndterer store mengder nett. Og dette er løsninger da, som passer både for små kunder og for store kunder. Så de håndterer alle typer nett. Løsningen er en software as a service, så den er browserbasert. Det er ikke nødvendig å installere noe. Det er lett å tilpasse og skreddersy den enkelte kunde. Og det som også er bra, det er enkelt å integrere det med de tredjeparts, altså med de løsningene du har i huset, om det er et CRM-system eller et annet kjernesystem som du ønsker å snakke med. Du har en komplett nettdatabase, et skikkelig inventory, hvor du har da en komplett nettmodell med objekt, altså du har en objektmodell med egenskaper, man har topologi på nettet sitt, så det er enkelt å gjøre analyser og trace nettet og så videre. Det er gode funksjoner for både å søke, finne ting, vise ting, og rett og slett gjøre analyser og rapportering tilpasset det behovet man ønsker å ha. Og man har funksjonalitet for å sjekke kvaliteten på data, for det å ha et godt datagrunnlag, det er liksom basisen for å kunne gjøre en effektiv drift og vedlikehold. Og det har du veldig mye funksjonalitet for her nå, som Heikki kommer til å vise dere senere. Det som også er bra med løsningen, det er det at den er bygd for å ha et tett samarbeid både internt i bedriften mellom de ulike aktørene, men også med ulike typer eksterne aktører, for eksempel av driftsoperatørene som dere har til å bytte lamper og holde ting ved like. De kan oppdatere da via en mobilapp og oppdatere akkurat som dere gjør på desktopen. Det skal vi si litt mer om, og det er enkelt å dele data, og det er enkelt å regulere tilgangskontrollen. Det skal vi også si litt om. Så man har en enkel deling av data, du sitter med et komplett bilde av nettet ditt, man kan lage da skreddersydde rapporter for ulike behov, og det er lett å holde data à jour, særlig siden de som er ute i felten da kan oppdatere databasen når de er der ute, og ta og rette opp feil. Og man har da et komplett bilde da, for å styre og håndtere vedlikeholdsoppgaver via et sentralt dashbord. Det er også viktig. Så man støtter hele verdikjeden her, altså man kan få data inn i systemet fra ulike kilder. Vi kan migrere data fra de systemene dere har i dag. Vi kan ta inn data da fra ulike typer feltløsninger. Vi kommer til å støtte det formatet som den nye ledningsregistreringsforskriften har kommet med, og den nye standarden, så det vil være mulig da å ta disse dataene inn i systemet. Det er lett å styre og følge opp feltpersonale, om det er eget personale eller andre personale, så kan man da opprette, tildele og følge opp oppgavene og se at oppgavene blir gjort. Det er lett å avdekke feil på nettet. Man kan planlegge og bygge ut på en effektiv måte, og det lett å integrere dette opp mot tredjepartssystemer. Det ulike typer kunder på det. Den største kunden, det jo da Vegvesenet eller transportmyndigheten i Finland som har 250 000 gatelys inn i løsningen. Mens man da har også mindre typer, så man har valgt fra små kommuner til store, mer nasjonalt dekkende aktører som håndterer dette her. Helsinki også en del av dette. Hvis vi ser litt på ulike deler av systemet, vi skal snakke litt om administrasjon, mobile løsninger, vedlikehold, feilhåndtering og arbeidsflyt. Hvis vi ser litt på det med å håndtere data, så det lett å se på å få inn data i systemet, holde det à jour. Det lett å se hvor de dårlige dataene mine, hvor skal jeg sette inn da støtet for å få forbedret datagrunnlaget, og sjekke topologien da, og se at alt i orden. Det kan man synliggjøre, og det kommer Heike til å vise dere nå etterpå. Det lett å oppdatere, dele og analysere data, og man kan da skreddersydde rapporter og lagre disse for senere behov. Enten det for vedlikehold, eller for andre typer spesielle oppgaver. Du kan håndtere både gatelysnett og trafiklysnett, så der kan man da legge inn gatelys eller annen utendørsbelysning, vise forsyningsområder, sjekke installasjonsdata opp mot garantier, planlegge vedlikeholdsoppdrag, beregne kortslutningsstrøm. Så man har mange muligheter. På trafikklysnettet så det samme muligheten, altså man håndterer også det, hvordan dette henger sammen, med både da ledninger og utstyr, altså signaler og indikatorer, og man kan da legge til utstyr i disse områdene som da dekkes opp av dette, og man kan etablere forbindelse mellom disse trafikklysområdene, så man har et komplett nett med forsyning. Så har vi denne Key Mobile-applikasjonen, som da gjør at man, uansett hvor man så har man tilgang til dokumentasjon via enten en mobiltelefon eller et nettbrett. Da kan du posisjonere deg da inn i dokumentasjonen, så du viser meg hvor jeg Hvis du ute etter et bestemt objekt, så kan da systemet hjelpe deg å finne korteste vei til objektet. Man kan samle inn da data i felten. Hvis man ser at det noe som feil, så kan man da oppdatere data. Hvis man gjør endringer i nettet, så oppdaterer man det der og da. Og så kan man da legge inn disse avvikene og følge opp det. Det som bra at alle de endringene som gjøres, de blir trekket, de blir merket, og man kan se alle versjoner av objektene. Så hvis man har 4 endringer på et objekt, så kan man se alle de 4 versjonene, og det noe som da gjort som feil, så kan man da sette tilbake til forrige versjon. Når det gjelder vedlikehold, så det enkelt å finne og klassifisere objekter, basert på at man kan finne alle lamper av en viss type som man tenker å skal skifte ut, eller alle lamper med en viss årgang som man ønsker å skifte ut, sånn at det lett å forstå hvilket vedlikeholdsbehov man da har. Og man kan da kjøre beregninger innenfor et område på hele nettet og så videre. Man kan dokumentere og rapportere feil da, for å avdekke problemområder, og man kan administrere vedlikeholdsoppgaver ved hjelp av dette arbeidsflyttfartøyet. Unnskyld. Så finnes det også da løsninger som gjør at innbyggerne kan rapportere da feilene inn, altså en slukket lampe, gjerne via publikumsportalen. Administrere og tildele da oppgavene til de entreprenørene dere har til å gjøre det i det området, og følge opp status på feilen og rapportere det igjen tilbake til innbyggerne og si at nå den lampa blitt grønn, nå den skiftet. Så finnes det også da verktøy som gjør at man da oppretter oppgaver, tildeler dette, følger det opp og ser at det blir gjort. Man kan da se at her har faktisk denne entreprenøren vært inne og gjort jobben og oppdatert dokumentasjon. Og har han ikke gjort det, så det ikke sikkert han får betalt. Dette verktøyet veldig bra å bruke når man da skal lage en plan for neste år. Rett og slett gjøre en analyse av hvordan står det til med nettet, hvor det behov for å foreta vedlikehold, og hvor har man da størst nytte av det. planlegge og visualisere dette for å kommunisere det opp til de som sitter på pengesekken, og beregne verdien på nettet og vedlikeholdsetterslepet for å rett og slett synliggjøre overfor de som da sitter og bevilger penger, at her er det ting som da bygger seg opp eventuelt, hvis man da får kutt i budsjettet. Brukeradministrasjon kan gjøres på forskjellige nivåer. Man kan begrense tilgangen basert på geografisk område, typisk da for en vedlikeholdsaktør, som da har et bestemt område som han da skal betjene. Han vil kun ha tilgang til disse dataene. Det kan også være at man begrenser tilgangen basert på gitte type objekter og egenskapsdata. Og så er det denne muligheten da med at når noe er gjort av endringer, blir det alltid trekket hvem har gjort den, når er det gjort, og du kan se både den versjonen som gjelder, og forrige versjon, og forrige versjon, og forrige versjon, og gå tilbake, hvis man ønsker det. Så man kan da gjøre en områdebasert begrensning her, lave brukertilganger, og involvere da ulike aktører, altså leverandører i ulike parter. Da er det mulig å ha flere ulike aktører som da har ulike områder, uten at de nødvendigvis har innsyn i hverandres oppdrag. Så dette er da en kort presentasjon av selve løsningen. Det mest interessante blir jo da å se hvordan dette fungerer i praksis. Og nå kommer da Heikki til å vise dere hvordan dette er. Så Heikki, please show us how this works.
Okay, my pleasure. So let's share the camera. And screen should be available now.
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, thanks for presentation. Short presentation about myself. Heikki Majoinen is the name, and I've been working for KeyPro, 13 years, I think, in next March. My normal or like daily job is to upkeep and train our KeyLight customers. So I have pretty much installed all the KeyLights and trained all the KeyLights for our customers. So pretty familiar with the system. And I actually understood surprisingly much of the presentation, but yeah, this is going to definitely be in English. But yeah, so the basic functions of our KeyLight system is that whenever we get a new customer, the only thing we open is a new URL. So everything is at the internet browser. You don't need to like install any additional software, nothing like that. Basically, if you have a computer and network connection, you are good to go. Each of the customer will always receive our own separate URL. And just by typing it, we get to the login page, and filling up your credentials, you can enter the system. And as mentioned in the presentation, the user rights in the system can vary a lot. So if your task is you are a contractor, you need to fill up to the database the renovations you have done, the cable connections you have changed, and so on. You will have right to do that. If you are a network planner and your basic job is to just fetch the data from the system, then you have read-only rights. Or if you are a super user, you can do pretty much whatever you wish. And just fill up your credentials and log in, and we are good to go. This is a totally demo system. So we are operating at the city called Lahti in Finland, as you can see in the map. This is just a demo network. This has nothing to do with the real network of city of Lahti, just say. But yeah, when you log in the system, you get the following screen. Just to go through the usage interface, the most of this screen is reserved for the map, right? So depending on the background maps that are being installed into the system, your default map opens, and then the network. Here, the teal lines, they define as street lighting cables, but these colors are also, they can be whatever you wish. If in your original system your cables are green, then we just install it to be green. This is a geotraffic info, of course. So when I move the mouse, you can see from the bottom right corner that the coordinates are running. So depending on your coordinate system, which you can actually choose here. So in Finland, we basically or not mostly use this ETRS 89 coordinate system, but I think this UTM zone 32N is what to use in Norway. Yeah. And there is also the WGS 84, and the default coordination is being bolded. Like here, it's this called spherical Mercator, which is actually the same coordinate system that Google uses. Map tools open up in the new home form. So when your job is to just go through your network, watch the information about the network, this tool set is actually what you need. Here you can move the map whatever direction you want to go. You can zoom into some area that you can define here. You can zoom in one scale, zoom out one scale, etc. The active scale is always shown at the bottom right corner. So now I'm at 1 at 2000. Here you can see that the symbols actually change a bit. So the KeyLight is by default defined so that we start to show the symbols of street lights at 1.2000. I'm not sure what is the thing in Norway, but in Finland we have kind of like regular symbol set for street lights. Like I can immediately tell, judging by this symbol, that this is a LED luminaire, because this symbol tells me that, okay, by the attributes, this street light is actually a LED luminaire. LED is mostly used for the new installations here, but still, like the city where I live, city in Joensuu, probably like 40% of street lights are LED and 60% are old technologies like high pressure sodium and still a bit of high pressure mercury, just like 1% or so. But here you can see, you see the orange street light symbol here. This is a 100 watts high pressure sodium, and I can already tell it by this symbol. So this symbol set that we use in the Finnish KeyLights, it's pretty much the same, and there are big advantages. Like we have planners, we have contractors who have access to multiple KeyLights. Okay, they do the upkeep of city of Joensuu, they do the upkeep of city of Helsinki, they do the upkeep of like government. Whichever KeyLight you open, the symbols are the same. So it's easier for these contractors or planners who work in multiple environments so that not everyone has their own symbol set or something. Everything that you can see on the map, poles, cables, street lights, whatever, everything is stored in the database. So this is not just a symbol here at the map, it also has some database attributes. And with info tool that you can find here in the map tools, you can ask from the database, okay, what kind of database properties do I have on these objects? So when I draw the rectangle with the info tool here, I can see that, okay, there is a one pole in that location. There are two cables and one street light at this location. If I want to see the additional information, especially about the street light, here is always the edit button, and here I can open the form of this network objects. Double click works as well. Just saying, like if I really want to open fast this particular street light here, I can always double click, and this will also provide me the information of the street light. Okay, speaking about this form, the columns with yellow background, these are mandatory fields. So you need to have something here. You cannot document a street light in the system that lamp power is unknown. You have to have something there. So if somebody wonders what the yellow background means, this means it's a mandatory field. But otherwise, we can see there is owner, renter, usage class. Oh, by the way, there is some finish here in between of these drop-down boxes. So try not to matter that too much. But the most of the important ones should be also in English. But yeah, there is a usage state when it's been installed. Very important information. Which is the manufacturer of the luminaire? Which is the model, powers, lamp types, luminous fluxes or lumens, light distributions, etc., etc. So the key objects in the network are poles, obviously. So if we open some pole here, we can see the information we store about the poles. I think the most important ones are material and install year when it's been installed, and probably like length, and also the information about the base. This is normally the data that our customers gather about their poles, and of course the location. Then cables. Cables are always between the 2 point objects in this system. With cables, the most important parts are installation type. Is it buried or is it an aerial cable? And what is the actual like technical type of the cable? So this is like aluminum cable that has 4 wires, and the diameter, no, not diameter, area is 16 square centimeters, right? This is important because there is some calculations that can be done in KeyLight system. Like you can calculate the short circuit current like at the end of the cable, which is very important for planning. Like if we can handle 2 more street lights in this cabinet, or do we need to build a new one and stuff like that. So these types have cable types have attributes that are actually used in calculations about the information of the network. But the most important part pretty much is if it's aerial or if it's a buried cable. Cables are always connected to the network. Like here we can see this cable, which is this cable here. It's connected to pole and pole. This is a very important part. When we document a network in KeyLight, you want to have connections right, because I will demonstrate these obviously later on, but I can always ask from the cabinet that, okay, highlight me the network that this cabinet is actually feeding. And I can get report that, okay, this cabinet, which is here, it has 44 street lights attached to it, and the combined power is something, and so on. Very important for planning and very important for upkeep and such. And then of course street lights. Street lights can be either attached to the pole or they can be individuals. Like if you have like lights at some underpass, or you have some decoration lights at some walls or whatnot, you can also document street light without the pole object. But when you have this normal street light that is attached to the pole, you always, of course, first create the pole and then attach the street light to the pole, because you can have multiple street lights in one pole, right? Like in highway at the center, you always have pole that has 2 street lights to the both sides of the road. So then you have one pole that has 2 street lights attached to it. And then of course, cabinet, which is called premise form in our solution. But here we have the identification, which is like name of this cabinet, and then maybe where it's been placed. Is it in pole? Is it in cabinet? Is it in manhole? Whatnot. Owner. What is the main fuse? What is the surface? Is it like coated or not? And then important information, contractor, manufacturer, stuff like this. And then you can also provide the information about guidance systems. I'm not sure if what is like market holders there in Norway, but Finland it's like C2 and Caverion. And also what was Signify is something that is pretty new on the customer side. And also very important part about the cabinets is that you have fuses and you have groups there, right? So you can always document the group at the start of the cabinet, and when you select one group, first one here, it also highlights the map when it's been documented correctly. So here I can see that this cabinet's first fuse is going to this street called Tapparakatu upwards. So here is where the connections come into the play. So as long as this route follower can find connections, it will follow the cables and poles as far as this group goes. All the forms that I'm showing here, which is I have basically opened these by double clicking the network object, right? You can always find all the tools from the network tools menu here. So here you can also select, like if you want to open up some cables, you can always select the cable form from this drop-down box. So all the system network tools are located in this selection here. There is also a form called other objects, which is basically all the other stuff that is not in any of the forms we have gone through so far. So if you want to put like groundings or whatever other objects you want to point on the map that are significant for the network, this is like free for any basically any stuff that you can you want to add. Important part, so like whenever I select any information about this, let's say the street light, so we have this light manufacturer column here. Most of the fields in KeyLight are drop-down boxes. This means that if there is some manufacturer that you want to fill, it has to be in this drop-down box. This is the way to keep your data coherent. Like previously, these weren't drop-down boxes. So I can tell you, people can type Philips in, I don't know, 7 different ways. So now you have your data all over the place because of this. I have done some pretty nasty data migration projects where I needed to put everything into the values of these drop-down boxes. So I have seen how people can mistype stuff in many different ways. So what does this mean in the KeyLight world is that whenever you get the new customer, we obviously like fill these drop-down boxes during the data conversion from the original data, right? Wherever your data is, it's in Excel files, it's in AutoCAD, it's in some database solution, whatnot. We will convert the data. But after this, like when you now get the new, okay, we want to install this kind of model and it's not available here. Here is where the admin interface comes into the play. So the super user of the system can go into the admin page, which was actually showed in the Magne's presentation. He can go to this admin page and add this new type. So this is the way how your data keeps, the quality of data stays intact when you handle these kind of drop-down boxes. There are also, of course, like just number fields like install year or such. But most of the data fields are actually in drop-down boxes. Okay, so what can we do with the data though? So here is where the quality of the data comes into the play. If you are a network owner, like you are the guy running the street lighting network at your city, of course, one of your most important thing is that, okay, I need to know what do we have and how much, right? Like that is the like basic report is show me everything that I got. Searches on this system are extremely flexible, and you can also create your own reports based onto these searches. So let's see, we are interested about streetlights now, or luminaires. We go to the correct form, and in each of the forms, all the columns you can see here works as search criteria. And you can have either 0 or, I don't know, 10, 20 search criteria, whatever you wish. Like this is where your imagination is the limit. So obviously, the number one search would be, okay, show me everything that I got. So you just select the form and use no search criteria and just press search. I have 437 streetlights in my system. Okay, cool. So how many LED streetlights do I have? I can clear the form and create a new search where we fill in the lamp type as LED and then press search again. Okay, 270 and so on and so on. You can also choose the elements not from database, but from some geographical location. Okay, if I want to know how many LED streetlights do I have in my map view right here, I can fill in the lab search criteria. And now I won't press the search, but I use the map view. So also you can describe your free area. So basically draw a rectangle or circle or whatever you wish. Or if you have some existing area, you can use that as a search criteria as well. This is very common for our biggest customer, the Finnish Transport Agency. They need to know how many streetlights do they have in the county of Pohjois-Karjala, which is my home county, like North Karelian. And of course, the county limits are being pre-stored in the database, so they just click the area. They don't need to draw the whole North Karelia every time. They just click the predefined area and you get the results from that area. But if I use map view area, and let's use the from criteria, which is the LED, I can see that 128 is the result. Okay, show me where they are. I can highlight this whole query set in the field, at the map. Now we see with the blue dots that, okay, my LED luminaires in this map view are located here. So now I can actually close this form and I can start to like explore the results. I can zoom in, I can zoom out, I can do whatever I wish. I can actually take like PDF print from this, and the print will also show this highlight. So as long as I do anything, before I clear the form, this query set is available for me. And here comes the cool part. I can store this query. And I can add multiple queries at the same view. So to do that, we go back to the form. Back to the streetlight form. Then we show this query in this tool called group display. The new form called group display opens, and here I can see the query and the count of the results, which is 128. By this form, I can actually change the highlight color. Let's put it to red so you can see the color changes for the highlight. So I can add now a second query here. So if I empty the form, I can make now a different query. So let's find, do we have any high pressure sodium light sources here? Map view, use form criteria, okay. Okay, 21. Okay, let's add those also to the group display. And let's highlight those with green. So now my HPS streetlights are shown in red and green and LEDs are shown in red. Cool. I can rename these queries so that if my colleague wants to check the same theme, he understands what these colors mean. Almost used the Finnish version there. Okay, and I can save this theme. I can save this as a new theme. And now everyone who can use the system can access to my theme. Cool. Like this. Okay. So now it's saved, and you can always open this theme from the user theme tool. And here is the cool part. Now we plan to do some renovation in the network. We want to get rid of the old high pressure sodium streetlights, right? When these are updated and I open the theme again, of course the theme values are now different. So these again shows as red, and now we have these left to renovate. So you can create whatever themes pretty much you wish with this tool. Like you can use Wait, am I still on? Can you still hear me?
You are still on.
Okay, cool. But yeah, you can use like installation dates. So if we open the streetlight form again, you could use this install date as a one theme value. Like, okay, show me everything in the database that is being installed between this date and 1st of January 2021. Here I can see, no, sorry, vice versa. So the start date is 1st and the last date is today. Here I can see, do I have any streetlights in the system that have been installed this year? Okay, 9. Cool. I could put these into the group display and they could make another search of 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, and so on and so on. So you could use this as a thematics of the install dates of your streetlights. This is very important because of this tab. So this is something that domestic, like Finnish customers, they consider this like one of the most important things about this system. You can identify when this street light has been installed. In this case, it's 17th of September 2021. And we have defined that this street light has 60 months of warranty period. So 5 years. So here we can see, is this street light under warranty? So now the contractor knows when he goes to fix this because it stopped working. Cool, this is under warranty, so we can get this replaced by free. I've heard from many cities that when they didn't have their warranties in place, they made so much of the replacing the street lights that still have warranty, it's like money down the drain, right? Because you can get replacement by free, but now you're actually paying to replace it because you didn't know that it's under a warranty, right? And also this is very important, like the city of Jyväskylä is one of the best examples. They have made some themes that, okay, show me the street lights that have 6 months or less warranty left, they go to make an extra maintenance round for those. So if they can see that if there's something we need to fix ASAP, we can get it under the warranty. So this is like wise planning of your maintenance. And also one thing about speaking about maintenance, I saw from the presentation that there were areas at some picture. We have the tool called area, and you can create different kind of areas into your system. And one of the great usages for this is wait, what is it in English? Help. Renovation. So we know that our city is planning to do some big renovations in this street in the next 3 months, right? So let's identify that into the KeyLight system. Like this. Okay, now the contractor sees this area and he can see that, okay, there is a 2 street lights that the bulb is like gone. But now they can see that, oh, this is actually being replaced with the new street lights in the next upcoming 6 months. So maybe not do any heavy upkeep work on street lights that are going to be removed in the next 6 months anyways. So it's very important to like fetch the information from the city to the contractors and vice versa, obviously. So this is one of the great usages of the KeyLight system in general. From the layers, you can select what do you show on the map. So now when I started to draw this area, I got the areas level on by default because always the layers activate when you use some tool, but I can just hide them if I don't need them anymore. And you can always have one base map active at the time, and then the network layers as many as you wish. Speaking about base maps, we only have the OpenStreetMaps available in this demo system. But normally at our city customers, they always have their own background maps and aerial maps and whatever maps the city can provide. We always install them to the KeyLight system. And it can be like AutoCAD file, Bentley, MicroStation, DGN, or it can come from the WMS service or WFS service. So whenever the map is being updated at the city, it always updates to the KeyLight because we read those from the interface straight from the city. Updating the objects super easy. If I let's focus on the street light. So let's open street light form. Then I want to select the, let's say these 4 street lights here, they are now being renovated and we install a new light to those. We select first those 4 objects from the map and I can use the free area. So I can easily draw a rectangle that covers all these 4 street lights. And then we just fill in the information that we want to put. Okay, so these being installed today. December and 1st, right. These are Philips and light model is, let's use this one. Then we fill in the power. It's 2000 lumens and the light distribution is, let's use STS, and then I can update all these 4 objects at once. Like I don't obviously need to update them one at a time. We just update all the information with the tool called Mass Update. So very easy to update the objects to the corresponding values. You can always add text commands into the map. So we have text tool. So if you have something special what you want to say and leave to the map, you can put information. Like this, then just click add, and let's use annotation line or reference line. So we can add text commands into the map. And you can also attach documents. So if you have photographs, you have some PDFs concerning about the plans, you have some inspection made, you have some PDF forms, whatnot. The external document is tool for that. And there is two options. Either you can just select the file from your computer and pretty much click it on the map, or you can attach it to the network object. And this is the way that our customers normally use it. So if you have some new documentation going on and you have some end pictures about how it's been actually constructed and whatnot, it's usually the network object and it's usually the cabinets where the documents are being stored. So in each of the network objects, you can always see that there is an attachment tab, and you can see that there is a 0 behind this. So okay, here we don't have any attachments. There should be one somewhere. Let's see. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, here you can already see that there is a 1 at the attachment tab. So okay, there is a 1 attachment here. So here we can see that okay, there is a device photo from the cabinet, and here you can see the link and open it. Well, it's not photo of the cabinet, it's photo of my dog, but you get the idea. So you can have any like AutoCAD, PDF, whatever forms, whatever files you want to add. You can either attach those to the network objects, which is something that I actually prefer because it's easier to find. If your attachments are all over the place in the map here somewhere, it can be tough to find them. But if you have everything that is being like this clearly relates to this project that we have done at this Tapparakatu, it makes the most sense to store everything at the cabinet. So, and when you teach this to your contractors and all the users, planners, etc., they like very easily can adapt that. Okay, here is where you can find your files. Speaking about that, it's very important and very good practice that we have been going through with our customers lately. So let's say city of Vantaa, which is 4th biggest city in Finland and one of our biggest city customers, they created a documenting guide for their contractors. So they have like 30-page long document that I was actually a part of writing with the one consultant and of course guys from the city. We kind of created the guidelines how to document your street lighting network at the KeyLight Vantaa. From the street lights, you fill this and this and this and this field. From the cables, you fill this information. You took these photographs from the field, you always attach those to the cabinets. Now, whenever there is a new user who starts to doing digitizing at the KeyLight of Vantaa, they can read it's not like a user manual, it's more of like how to implement all the features that are in KeyLight and what do I need to take care of when I start to document street lights and whatnot. Very good practice. It's also about data quality. So it shouldn't matter then, like you can see this all the time. You have this one contractor and one of their guys are like extremely focused and he always fills up everything. And then there is another guy who kind of goes fast but forgets the stuff. If you have the clear guideline, what to give, okay, document these, the data quality keeps on so much better. And user manual is not correct for that because it's just how the KeyLight works, right? This documentation manual is how and why do you use the system. Other formats, if you have plans or some other information in AutoCAD and you want to see it at the background of KeyLight, there is a tool called Spatial Upload. So basically, if you have some AutoCAD file or MicroStation file or even S-Reshape on your computer and you want to use it at the background here while doing some work, you can upload that file into the system. It will go to the correct it has to be on coordination though, of course. Like you select what is the projection of the file, and then you just define in what layer you will upload it. But here you can get it as the background file to help your work, and you can actually even snap to the file. So if you have like cable lines, like lines in your AutoCAD, you can draw cables by snapping those lines, and it will copy X, Y, and Z coordinates from that file. And you can also export your network into the AutoCAD or other format. So if you select some cables, premises, whatnot, you can export this data into either AutoCAD, MicroStation, or S-Reshape format. And you can use it if you have something you need to do with MicroStation, you can get the correct KeyLight information as the background there. It doesn't bring the attributes, but it will bring the symbols and locations and everything. But it doesn't bring like all the streetlight attributes itself. But normally just the location and the cells are actually enough for that work. And speaking about reports, we did one report, or we did the thematics, right? So we have our user theme here. Let's put this to the group display, back to the group display, and I can actually combine these groups. And open this on my form, on the streetlight form. Okay. So many times you need to export this information to Excel, right? For that, we have a very handy tool called List. In the List tool, I can export whatever do I have on my form here into this list view, where I can, by default, I can see the installation height, manufacturer, model, power, blah, blah, blah. But here I can select what columns do I want to have on my list. So I can take usage class, usage date, owner, renter, install date, contractor, whatever. And I can export this information that we see here on the list to the Excel by just clicking reports and list report. So now it starts to generate the report, and it's actually going to be sent to my email. So I will get a download link at my email when the report is ready. It usually takes like from 1 minute to 5, depending how many objects do you have on your list. And you will get basically an email that says that report has been generated. Please download it from this link here. Oh, it actually, okay. So if the report is small, that is in our case here, because only 150 objects, it gets ready right away. But normally the report is like 10,000 rows, then it will give you the email link. But yeah, same information that we had here, it's now in the Excel form. So now I can just make any power or summed power or whatever reports I wish to do. But yeah, same information that we had on the form is now at the Excel. There are also predefined reports that again the administrator user can do. Here is an own tool called reports. And with the admin interface, you can define predetermined reports that you want to fetch from your data. I have only one example custom report here, which basically just shows only coordinates, installation dates, powers, types, and MS links. But with the admin interface, I could create whatever report I wish. So if you have something you annually need to report, you can just create this predefined report and then just select, do you want to have it in Excel or do you want to have it as a PDF, and it's always the same. City of Jyväskylä is again a good example because in their home page, let's actually see. They should have it in English as well. Let's see. Oh, okay. So they haven't translated this into the English, even though they have English page. But you know, they are following what their combined consumption of energy, how many street lights do they have, and what is the consumption of energy for one light point per average annually. And they have been following this since 1997. So what do? They always, like last day of December, they just get the same report from KeyLight and they have all the numbers. What do they need? And then just put them into the Excel and then put those into their home page. And this is kind of cool. Like their total consumption of energy is going down even though their lights are going up. So here we can see what if you invest in technology, it pays back in the quite a short amount of time. What else? But yeah, let's check the cabinet once more. So about the connections, about the topology, very important part. When you have documented your network correctly, and correctly I mean how it is in real life, you can see in the map, like I have one cabinet here. Now I want to see on the map that show me the part of the network that this cabinet is actually feeding. I can get here that highlight all premises outputs. This is the area that this cabinet is feeding at the network. So everything you see on the red, it's coming from this cabinet. Okay, I can select multiple cabinets by once. So let's see how many cabinets do we have in this area. We have 5. Let's do the same thing. Oh, not the, sorry, yeah. So now I have each of the cabinet by their own color. So everything you see yellow is coming from here, everything blue here, green here, red here, and orange here. This is a good way to like check, do you have your documentation? Everything should be some color, right? And also there shouldn't be any conflicts. That if this part would be both red and orange, there would be connection between these two cabinets somehow. And about the calculations, as I mentioned earlier, we have the circuit calculus here. So if I select some of the groups like this one, and if I want to see what is the short circuit current at the end of this section, I can select the tool here and choose the route, which is the end here. Now we can see that what is the minimum short circuit current and what is the maximum. Here I can see the premises, like calculation values. It's using defaults because I haven't filled in the supply voltage and circuit current for this premise, so it's using defaults. And here I can see what are the cable types and what are the lengths in this route, and also temperature is the default. But here you can see that can we add any stuff here, or are the fuses starting to pop at our premise? So this is something that the planners need to check when they plan new network. And you can also import this to the Excel report if you wish. But yeah, let's not do that. But yeah, this is the desktop version. Like this was a short this was a short glimpse of the desktop application, but that is the most, like the differences, the most important parts about here is of course the reporting. You need to know what do you have and how much. You can easily update any information about your network. You can add some network objects, and then you can also add some background maps. You can add external documents, whatnot. And you can easily create any thematics to analyze your network, right? But here we also have the mobile interface. So this is the new mobile that being developed right now, and the customer testing will start in very short notice. And at the start of next year, this is going to be in production. So this user interface is being totally optimized to use on cell phones or tablets, or well, touchscreen. Let's start with that. So with your fingers, you can zoom in, zoom out, and so on. You can locate yourself, like I'm at the computer, so obviously this doesn't work for me. But the most important part is that when you are at the field, you need to locate yourself. So you're going to use the GPS location of your tablet or your mobile phone, and you can easily see where you are. You can actually navigate if you fill in the coordinates for that. But yeah, let's say I'm somewhere around here. I locate myself into next to this pole. The symbols and the attributes and everything, they are the same. And then with the info tool on, you can select objects from the map, or you can also select objects by your location. So here we can see that, okay, we can see all the cables. Yes, we can see all the street lights as well. This is a fine example, by the way, from the pole that has 2 street lights attached to it. Yeah, so we have 1 lane here and 1 here, and then we have the poles at the center, and you have 2 street lights attached to it, 1 to each lane. But yeah, from the details, I can see all the information that we have on the main application, also at the Key mobile application. And I can update whatever info also with the Key mobile. So if I can see immediately from the map, okay, this power is not right, I can actually update the information with the mobile. You can even add your own favorites tab into this data field. So if you are mostly interested about what is the lamp's model, what is the manufacturer, what is the power, each user can define their own favorites in this info tool. Like here from the settings, you can actually see that here I could predefine what favorites do I want to use for streetlights. And this is like every user can define these how they wish. And this is very important because somebody might be interested about poles. Someone is only interested about warranty info. Someone is only interested about install heights, whatnot. This is the best way that the user gets to select his or her favorites themselves. And here we can see that, okay, the lamp type is, I can easily see that, no, this should be LED. and this should be power should be 117. And you can just then save the information for the object. I saw there in the presentation there was some talk about the key work part as well. Key work means that you can create tasks for the maintenance. Like, okay, we see that this pole has been crashed. We need to have somebody fix it. You could create tasks for the guys in upkeep as well from this mobile interface, and also, of course, from the main application itself. But yeah, you can take pictures. All the like things that use my location are not active because obviously when I'm using my computer, the location doesn't work. But yeah, the idea is that everything we see on the main application, everything is also available at the mobile application, and we can change, update any information we wish. We can actually even create new ones. So when you see that, oh, for some reason in my network inventory system, I don't have this pole at all. I'm at the field, I can see it, well, let's add it. So it's very easy to add like this simple, like 1 or 2 missing poles, missing streetlights. If you are missing like 10, then I would go to main application because it's easier there. But now that you can add it on the mobile, we get less of those. Okay, I will create it when I go back to the office, if I can remember. And in many times you don't remember. So it's very important that you can do pretty much anything at the field when you are actually at the location. All the same map layers that we have on the main system can be activated from the settings. You can change your language, and then you can select what the map layers you have. And then you can also activate your local search size. This kind of depends how good connection do you have. Like if you are somewhere in the middle of the forest and your GPS location or your mobile phone is 50 meters, you might want to widen your search size. But if you are at the city field, and you might even have like some additional GPS attached to your device, you can use like very small radius at that point. And you can also define if you are doing some like maintenance round, do you want to have marker on your location so you can see what you have been actually doing at the field and where. But yeah, this is the important part, that whatever network objects you are handling at the field, you can fill in the information, you can do the updates, you can even create a totally new object as well. But yeah, this is the mobile application. I actually have very high hopes for this. This is going to be a good one. The goal for this Key Mobile is to have it as simple as it possibly can for the contractors, because let's face it, it can be -20. You don't want to click like 500 times when you do one task. You want to have it as simple as you possibly can. And trying to use your location as much as possible. That is the key, I believe, for this mobile. But yeah, that's pretty much it. At least for now, for the first demonstration.
Very good, Heikki. Very good. So So far, we haven't got any questions from you guys out there. So if you have some questions now, you could just ask them via the chat. Så dere kan bare stille spørsmål nå og få ut, så kan vi svare på ting så godt vi kan. Gjerne konkrete ting om hva systemet kan, ikke kan, ting som dere ønsker at vi skal vise i tillegg og så videre. Det jeg kan si mens dere tenker litt på det, det jo vi jobber nå med å få oversatt applikasjonen til norsk. Der har vi fått tilganger allerede, så vi kommer til å endre alt det som av tekster her nå, og valg i menyer og så videre. Alt dette blir jo da norsk, sånn at det blir lett å forstå hva dette for noe, både for dere som forvalter nettet, og for de som skal ha tilgang til det av eksterne brukere. Vi jobber også med å få dette her opp å stå i forhold til norske kart, sånn at vi da kan legge inn ulike typer FKB-kart, andre typer kart, eller det kan være også datasett som dere har. Vi vil også da sørge for å bistå med å kunne migrere data fra de systemene dere allerede har i dag, inn i dette systemet. Og som jeg sa tidligere, vi vil støtte da all form for datafangst som da gjøres ute i felten nå, i henhold til den nye ledningsregistreringsforskriften, slik at den da kan komme inn i systemet og eksporteres ut av systemet igjen også. Så det i hvert fall ting som allerede på gang, og som vi da jobber med. Foreløpig ikke noe spørsmål. Vi håper også da at de av dere nå som ønsker å vite mer om dette, de kommer til å gjennomføre møter med dere, og som ønsker det, og gjerne gå mer i detaljer og vise hvordan dette systemet og dere skal selvsagt få tilgang til demoløsninger også for å kunne teste ut hvordan dette i praksis. Der var det spørsmål som kom og ble borte igjen. Ida, så du det?
Gå til published.
Ja. Kan man koble skap til et annet skap? Ja. Heikki, can you connect a premise to another premise or cabinet to another cabinet so you can turn on a fuse on one cabinet in the map, and then it also ignites the next, so we could connect these cabinets together?
At the moment, no. You kind of want to, like, you cannot connect cabinet straight into cabinet without any cables. And normally, when you go through one group, it stops when the next cabinet is. So how I would do that you probably need to select both of the cabinets and highlight them at the same time. But yeah, you cannot. There has been some sorting with types at this one city, so they have created their own special premise type called sub-cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it can be done. But the sub-cabinet isn't actually treated the same way as the cabinet. But I think that is the example you are referring here, right? Because you normally, you can have cabinet that is been fed by this one cabinet, but they can't be at the same hierarchy at the network.
No, but a different hierarchy. That's I think. And then you have these ring nets where you have kind of ring structure. Is that something you have in Finland? You connect things in a ring and like you do with the fiber optics.
I'm not actually sure. I can't really say that right now. I would need to analyze some data from our customers, but I haven't seen that much, to be honest. I know they always have reserve cables between the cabinets, but they are not actually connected at the premise side. But if you need to do some, like, if you are doing some construction and you need to, like, your road is going to be open at this part, you need to set up your limits differently at your network. I know they have reserve connections that they can enable, but they shouldn't be connected at the same time.
Yeah, so it seems like Trondheim has some kind of a network where you can support the streetlight from different parts of the network, and if you have a kind of failure, you could then reroute. But I'm not sure
that is
how it works.
that is thing here as well. But how it's been done is that is my screen still showing, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. There is this network objects that we are. No, wait, it's not actually enabled here, but it's called kind distribution limit, where you place the symbol here at the map, which is basically normally like two red lines that are at the 90 angle compared to this cable. So what do they show is that this cable is actually connected to this, or it's coming to this pole, but it's not connected. So now if we need to do some rerouting because of some construction or whatnot, we can enable these connections and shut down them somewhere else. And this is something they check with the KeyLight all day long, like, okay, if we need to like take this cable out, where we can route the powers to the street light. And then you of course need to do some calculations that, okay, does the fuses actually support this, or is something going to break at our cabinet? So there's always like reserve connections, but they shouldn't be active at the same time.
Mm-hmm. But you could then build up a hierarchy of support network as long as you put in cables showing
exactly.
and connect them. Yeah. Flere spørsmål? Det jeg også kan si nå er jo det at vi skal jo ha kundeforum nå i februar. Vi kommer til å sende ut denne invitasjonen nå i denne uka. Og da vil vi også ha en egen sesjon der med bare disse Key-løsningene, hvor blant annet også KeyLight vil bli vist, og hvor det vil være folk fra KeyPro til stede og svare på ting. Og kom det flere spørsmål her. Det er om du kan integrere SOSI-data, og vi kommer til å bygge da importmuligheter for SOSI-data, og også at vi kan håndtere da de kravene som ledningsregistreringsnormen gir. Og da er det jo GML der snakk om også. Og så er det spørsmål, kan man starte fra et lampeobjekt og finne hvilket skap det tilhører via dataen til lampeobjektet? Heikki, could you select a lamp object and find what kind of circuit this is attached to, and I'm sure you can show us that.
Yeah, you can also start the network object follower from the cable. Like if you need to know like from which cabinet am I going from this lamp, I can always start a selection from the cable that is attached to this pole. So you don't necessarily need to start from the cabinet side, but you can also start it from the cable side. So I can see that, okay, it's been highlighted to this cabinet actually right next to me. But yeah, this could be go like as far as it possibly can. But here at the cabinet, I need to know these circuits. Like I can find the cabinet this way, and then I need to check which of the group it actually is. And also, by the way, you can this group that is being shown here, you can also put this information into the group display form, like the one that we use for the thematics, right? I can also, like everything that this cabinet is feeding at the network, I can actually throw this into the group display as well. And with this, I can open all the street lights that are getting its power from this cabinet. So here I can get Excel reports of everything that this cabinet is feeding at the network.
Very good. Another question here. If you are defining a work task on pole, yeah, maybe something that there has been an accident or something, and it should be fixed by some maintenance workers. How easy is it to see this in the map without knowing exactly what point this task is related to? I'm not sure what they mean here, but
I think I get it. We don't have this keyword defined in our demo system that much, I think, I'm afraid. Let's see. No, actually it is. Okay. So with the tasks that, like the upkeep tasks that are in the network, you can create those with this form called task. And here you first define which kind of what is your issue? Is it like some broken blinking lamp? Is it some broken cable? Whatever it is, let's use excavation. Okay, we need to check this cable. This might be broken, right? So you create this onto the map. Now, all of these are going at their specific layers here in the system. And also you have their own tools with called task search. And here I can see everything that's being reported to this system. And I can check the newest first. It's a bit easier. So here I can see. So we have created this task today and the type of the task is excavation. Here I can see at the map. It's here. Okay. I could order this from contractor, or I could even assign to some specific mechanic whose task is to do it. Like from that, it goes to the contractor, and what our city network owners are watching is actually just this form. Here I can see that all the tasks that have been ordered from the contractor, all that been ordered, all that are in progress with some mechanic. Obviously, Olli Kaukola is not doing his job because he still has 3 tasks here under project or in progress. But here you can see what is the hierarchy of this mission. You create the issue, you order the issue, and then the mechanic goes to the work. And when it's done, it goes to the state completed. And I also saw this at the start of the presentation that there is also possible to open these kind of pages. This is actually a production page of City of Helsinki. This page is being published by the home pages of City of Helsinki, where the people who live in the city may report if they see like dark lights or blinking lamps or poles that been crushed or whatnot. So this is a page that we always define with the customer so that we get the logos of the city, we get the maps and everything right. But I'm not going to make one fault from this page now because it would actually go to the production of the City of Helsinki. So, but yeah, these tasks that we have in the system may be something we as a network owner create ourselves. Maybe the contractor finds it himself, or maybe the people living in the city are reporting via that page.
Mm-hmm. And will this, if we assign this task to a contractor, he will then use maybe Key Mobile or something to,
yes, exactly.
see where the task is and go
exactly.
there and use the Key Mobile also to do the update when you have fixed his work.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Is it possible to input data for some support cabinets, type of cabinets, fuses, energy meters and things like that?
So from the cabinet itself, first you have the like type. What is the like actual type of the cabinet? And then you can always have the form called extra data. And the extra data means that the administrator of the system can add whatever columns he wants to have on this premise form by the administrative. Like if you want to have new field here called energy company, like you want to fill in the actual energy company that is supplying the power for this cabinet, you can create a new column with the admin page and add it here, and then you can upkeep the data of that. So normally when the fields we have here, these are all coming from the like KeyLight code. This is common for each and all of our customers. If City of Kotka opens their KeyLight and opens their cabinet form, it looks like this, exactly the same as we have here. But then if the customers have some extra fields they want to upkeep about the network objects, they use the extra data form to create new columns here. Like City of Jyväskylä, they have two different electric companies that supply power for their cabinets. So they want to have the name of the electric company here, and they also have the number of their what is liittymä, like they have their own identification for each of the cabinets that are shown at the energy bill every year. They want to have that unique identification at this page as well. And you can search, you can put these into the reports, you can update these as well. So everything that we have on the extra data is as good as any other columns at the system.
So you can add any type of equipment with its attributes under extra data.
Yes, and this is something that I use in conversions all the time. Like if the customer X they have some extra information about the cabinets in their current system, and we don't have the corresponding place here, I always store the data into extra data form because we cannot lose any information. Like what kind of improvement is that if we miss some information from the original system or original data, Excel, whatever it is.
Yeah, and of course you could and also supply this with a picture as well, or several pictures. So
Exactly.
you have that in addition. Yeah.
Yeah. At least for cabinets, this electrical drawing is something they always attach to the to this attachment page, where you have like some circuit, like results of some measuring and whatnot. So it's very common to have attachments on your premises.
Good. Noen flere spørsmål? Det noe dere savner her sånn, eller det var fint å få litt tilbakemelding på det også? Disse løsningene blir også videreutviklet hele tiden, så basert på innspill fra brukerne her. Så vi vil jo regne med at det sånn som alt det vi også utvikler i Geomatikk, at det kommer innspill som man da tar med seg videre for å videreutvikle løsningen for å gjøre den mest mulig verdifull for kundene. Foreløpig det ingen nye spørsmål. Det vi kommer til å gjøre nå, det jo at dere vil få tilsendt en mail nå etter at vi ferdige med webinaret, hvor dere da kan laste ned presentasjonen. Dere vil også da få tilgang til en avspilling av webinaret. Og vi håper også at dere vil gi oss en liten tilbakemelding på hvordan dere oppfattet at dette var, om dette var verdifullt eller ikke, og gi oss noen tips da til forbedringer til neste runde som vi da skal ha. Så vi setter veldig, veldig pris på at dere tok dere tid til å være med på det her, og som sagt, de av dere som nå ønsker mer informasjon, ta kontakt med meg. Og vi vil da gjerne gjennomføre møter hvor vi da kan gå mer i detalj og se på deres data. Vi kommer også til å hjelpe dere med å migrere da alle eksisterende data fra de løsningene som dere allerede har i dag. Eller at man da, noen har jo ingenting, og da kan vi også være behjelpelige med å sørge for at data blir registrert og importert inn i systemet. Vi har jo noen kunder hvor vi faktisk gjør dette også, for eksempel Rælingen og Enebakk, hvor vi da samler inn alt av informasjon fra scratch, registrerer inn, og dette kan vi da legge da inn i systemet her. Da tar vi det enten inn via SOSI eller et annet format da, som egnet for formålet. Og det lett å gjøre dette. Og det som viktig å huske på, det jo det at den billigste formen for oppdatering av datagrunnlaget, det jo da når noen der ute og gjør en eller annen form for vedlikeholdsoppgave, ser et avvik, at de oppdaterer da dokumentasjonen, og rapporterer det tilbake igjen. Og også at de oppdaterer de endringene som de gjør. Og slik at dere da ikke får en forvitring i dokumentasjonen. Jeg husker jo med gru fra Telenor når vi sa vi skulle gå over til et sånt digitalt system. Da trodde man da oppdaterte jo alt seg selv, og så fikk man da en periode hvor dokumentasjonen forvitret kraftig. Så det jo viktig da å ha et godt trykk på de som gjør endringene i nettet. Se at de faktisk, når de ute og gjør en endring, at de også dokumenterer denne endringen. For det vil dere se gjennom det systemet her. Gjennom at dere kan se at ting har endret seg etter at oppdraget. Så se at der har han vært ute. Jaha, han har faktisk oppdatert at han har skiftet den lampa, og det gjorde han da. Veldig bra. Så da håper jeg at dere har fått svar på de spørsmålene som dere har. Og det bare å ta kontakt nå etterpå. Så da vil jeg si 1000 takk for at dere stilte opp, og thank you very much, Heikki, for demonstrating the solution. I really think this is a very good solution. So if there is no more questions now, det ikke noen flere spørsmål nå, så tror jeg bare vi sier takk for at dere stilte opp, og håper at dette var nyttig. Ha en riktig god dag videre.